My name is Virginia the Genius. I'm a recording artist. I was slash actress. Let's add that. But I was interviewed by Keith Andrew. Stay tuned. Go and check out his videos. They are awesome.
My name is Charles. I go by the handle of the Screaming Skull on TikTok platform. I was interviewed today for the very first time by Keith Andrew, and I definitely recommend anybody who wants to be on a free and open platform to definitely go ahead and give his videos a watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Keith Andrew, and this is episode 59, Season 9, Season 12. That is right, Season 12, Episode 59, 1,159 episodes. I'm here with two great guests. One is an upcoming professional singer, one is an upcoming professional actor, and here on the Keith Andrew Network, we like bringing two people together. So that being said, they already introduced themselves in the beginning of the videos. So Charles, the first question I want to talk to you about is icebreakers. Tell our audience a little bit about yourself and the type of work that you do.
All right. Well, as you mentioned, I'm a singer and songwriter. Homegrown, self-taught with all of it. And to top that off, I'm also a father of three. So I got that on my plate as well. But yeah, I mean that's there is too. I like working with my hands, playing music. I can play guitar, drum, can't play keyboard or to save my life, but I try, you know. But as far as like doing icebreakers go, like I have a bit of I can get socially awkward, but once I get comfortable and everything, then I'm good to go. So with that being said, like I grew up with learning disabilities and stuff like that myself. So the social cues aren't always there. I'm always going to be the quiet guy sitting in the corner, observing everything. And then like I said, once I can get a read on the room and of everyone in it, I'm kind of just like, oh, that's when I kind of just chat, and then that's when I open up. So that's what I'm on.
You know, everything you just said, I can definitely relate to. When I was in high school in 2003, now I feel old, I'm 36. When I was in high school in 2003, in 2004 for that matter, I was always that person who sat against the wall, who was kind of anti-social. I'm not saying I was an asshole or anything. It's just because I'm socially awkward. It was just really hard for me to express myself. I kind of wish I had my show now when I was in school because my dad liked to say I had diarrhea of the mouth. So I wish I had something to give me the confidence, someone that could guide me. But I didn't have anyone like that growing up. But everything you said, I can definitely relate to. We can talk about that more in a little bit. But our next guest is Virginia, and if I butcher your name, I do apologize. But that's how you pronounce it, right, Virginia?
Virginia, yes.
No
I hope the
disrespect.
screen is okay.
No,
Can you hear me, Keith?
yep, it breaks up a little bit. I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yes, it's Virginia.
And
You didn't say.
no disrespect.
Oh, absolutely not. We've been knowing each other for so long, and I really appreciate being here again. Um, so my name is Virginia. I am an actress slash singer. I've been in the Screen Actors Guild since 2001, so I've been acting for a long time. And I think during COVID, that's when I started, singing. Singing more because I've always loved to sing. Yeah, I've like I said, I've been acting since 2001. My first movie was Collateral Damage with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and
Ooh.
that's how I ended up in the Screen Actors Guild. Um, I enjoy singing, and I go by the name of Virginia the Genius. That's my stage name, Virginia the Genius, and I'm an R&B artist. A little bit about me, I'm very friendly. I love meeting people. Um, I can, I'm not really socially awkward, but I can be. It depends on the atmosphere, It has to be like a lot of positivity around, good energy. I'm about being around good energy type people. But other than that, um, I'm multi-talented. I have a master's degree in psychology. I love like talking to people and interacting and things like that. So that's me.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. Now we're gonna take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're gonna talk about the coronavirus on this quick commercial break.
It's Keith Andrew, very nice to meet you. Call boy, my talk show is to show people that even with every learning disabilities, I can still have something. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there that never.
We're back from the quick commercial break, and the first thing I want to talk to you about, it's Friday night. You know what that means? If you're a fan of Bill Maher on HBO, Bill Maher is available. It will air today, and replay will be aired later on tonight, and it will be aired Saturday night. So if you're a fan of real time Bill Maher, definitely check it out on HBO. The other one I want to promote is Friday Night SmackDown. If you're a WWE fan, available on the USA Network, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Western. It is WWE SmackDown. With that being said, the other one I want to talk about, in Virginia, you may be interested in this, but Charles, I also want to talk to you about this. Do you guys like custom items? And Charles, I'll start off with you.
What do you mean when you say custom items?
Because the following is I do a little plug for my friend, Miss Wade. She makes custom items like she makes her own soap, body butter. She makes custom. I don't say. I guess I could actor. She makes a school bag. She makes custom bags. She makes everything handmade, and they're great items. She makes purses made from leather, Italian leather, from scratch. She's really great. She has a lot of talent.
Okay.
So if you're into custom items, maybe I can hook you guys up.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There's always nothing wrong with having something that is yours. You get something that's monogrammed or, like if you have your own like logo or whatever. Like I got my, official TikTok logo made up finally, something, slapped that on. It's basically the stepping stones of creating a merchandise platform if you are an artist. So yeah, absolutely. Personalized custom items. Yeah. That's something I'm always looking at.
Okay, you hear me?
Yes.
Um, I love custom items. A lot of body, like creams and things like that. A lot of people make it natural, like a lot of, from a lot of natural products. So I think that's really good for us to, use natural products. So I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys are interested, I definitely keep you guys in contact with her. But Charles, I also want to talk to you about for anyone out there who has a product or a band for $20 a month, I will give you airtime on the KeithAndrew Network, what I just did. During a commercial break, her commercial will be playing. So for $20 a month, if you have a product or a organization like what I do, anything I can do to help you get more exposure, I will do my best to. I promise you, I will use all my social medias to plug you and get you more exposure. Not bad for $20 a month.
Not bad at all.
Not
No,
bad.
it's what I do. It's so I do a little bit of everything when it comes to music. I've made hip hop beats, I've made
Nice.
R&B beats and stuff like that. But my number one of all time is always death metal, deathcore.
Mm.
I got the tattoo. I'm covered in tattoos. I got gauges. Like, it's what it's. I've been playing that music for over almost 10 years now,
Wow.
and it's very what's the word I want to use? It's very eclectic. It's very. I'll say this. It's like beer. It's an acquired taste.
Hmm.
For some people, other people they can just jump right into it and they're good. But for some people, so like I would have to discuss that with my bandmates before I can be like, hey, let's throw this in there because, we've done that in the past and we've actually had like a negative backlash from it.
Oh, wow.
Not saying that would happen here, but we got to just be careful. We're in a very sensitive age.
No, I
So
understand. And here
yeah,
on the
we're at a
Keith,
very sensitive age. So recently I actually just finished literally right before this interview, I just finished mixing and mastering a metal cover
Mm.
for the upcoming Halloween season. Did a
Nice.
did a cover of the song This Is Halloween from Nightmare Before Christmas, and I'm actually debuting it tonight on TikTok Live.
oh,
Oh,
nice.
wow. I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, it's took me about a good solid week to work on it with some technical issues. My studio interface started malfunctioning. Got that fixed via a hammer. Not kidding you. I literally hit it with a hammer and it started working it again. Um, and then doing the bass line, I popped a bass string and I don't have spares, so kind of had to just one string it and then just do layer over layer to get the tone right and everything. But yeah, by myself, it took me about a solid week to put it together, and I literally just finished it now. And then I sent the vocal tracks out to my my guitarist who is a mixing and mastering genius,
Hmm.
and he put all the vocals together. I gotta just throw them back on the track and it'll be ready to go by tonight.
No,
That's
perfect.
really
You know,
cool.
the one thing is the Keith Andrew Network, freedom of speech, self-expression. You can say anything, talk about you, freedom of speech, self-expression, say anything you want, talk about anything you want. We don't judge.
Yeah.
And it's about networking, and I like bringing people together. Now, in a couple minutes, I'm going to pass the show over to both of you. And if I do hesitate, I apologize. I haven't done my interviews as of right, so I'm really rusty. So, next subject I want to talk about is the coronavirus. And Virginia, I'm going to start off with you. How has the coronavirus impacted your life, and do you see life in a different point of view?
Oh, okay. So, the coronavirus, oh my goodness, it was the worst. It was a nightmare for me.
It
It
was
was, yes, it was awful because at the time I was living in Virginia. I live in Los Angeles now. But when Corona broke out, I was living in Virginia. I was working with children with disabilities. I was a high school teacher. So, when it broke out, I kind of like could not go back to work because I have a daughter who has a heart defect, and she was like, I would say 13 at the time. And I felt like I cannot get this virus and bring it back to her. So I couldn't go to work. I had to stay home. And they had this thing where you could work at home to, deal with the students and things like that. But they would not let me do it for some reason.
you
They
really
said,
can't. You really can't with special needs children. I have two children who are special needs. I totally understand that.
yeah, they had, well, but when the virus broke out, all of us teachers, we were teaching from home with the special needs,
Oh, wow.
children. Yeah, we have like special things to use so that they can understand and communicate back and forth. But it is better to work in person with special needs. Definitely, I agree to that. So I was stuck at home, couldn't go to work. And that's when I just started singing and things like that, and so it was a great impact. It was on me. It wasn't good at all because I wanted to go to work, but I just couldn't because I had a daughter, with a heart defect and I had to kind of protect her from the virus. It
Mm.
was really hard. So, yeah.
Yeah, what about you, Charles?
Uh, I know it was only 2 years, but realistically, like it was more or less a 3 year, fiasco with the whole thing. It was rough. I won't lie. It was real rough. Two out of the three of my children were born during it.
Oh,
My son was born at the height of COVID, and my youngest daughter was right at the tail end.
yeah,
And I mean, from that aspect, it was hard. Like, at the time I was working in an automotive garage, that's what I do outside of the music is I fix cars.
yes,
And I mean, so we were like able to kind of keep our distance from people and stuff like that. But then my wife, uh, with our son, she ended up going into preterm labor at 23 weeks.
oh, wow,
And, we get rushed into the hospital and everything. And thank God they were able to stop it. And, my son's happy and healthy now. He's 4 years old now. But when he was born, like I said, it was right in the middle of it, right at the crown of everything.
wow,
And I mean, luckily the hospital we went to, they were like, yeah, he can stay, but he can't leave. Like I had to get tested, and then once the test said I was good, I can come in, and then I was not allowed to leave for the time that they were in the hospital.
oh,
If I
wow,
did, I wouldn't have been able to come back. But that honestly wasn't even the worst part. The worst part for me of it in that aspect was the fact that I couldn't be in the room when my son was born.
oh my
I'm
goodness,
sorry about that.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was like,
uh,
he's my only son. So like literally like, because she was C-section, it was emergency C-section. So they're in there and I could see from the little view window everything. And that was it. I couldn't be next to her, comforting her because I know she was scared and
right,
everything. I couldn't cut the cord, couldn't hold him until after he came back to the room and everything. It was I lost a lot with that right
yeah,
there. But then I was able to make it all up with my youngest daughter because, like I said, it was at the tail end, so they removed a lot of restrictions, and stuff like that. But unfortunately, like, that still sits in the back of my mind that here is my only son,
right,
and I pretty much missed all of, everything from day one on. So and I know I'm not the only person in the world that went through that. Some people had it worse. Some people, didn't even have their spouse. They couldn't even have their spouses anywhere in the building. They were like, yeah, he can come for 2 hours and then he has to leave. And then, poor mother sitting in the hospital by herself, pretty much butterflied and trying to take care of this baby because they shut down all the nurseries and
wow,
she doesn't even have any support.
that is
So
hard.
like I count my blessings in that I didn't have that. She didn't have that. But
Mm-hmm.
I know that messed with a lot of people. That messed up a lot of people, and they're calling this now the second great boom. The baby boom. This is now the next baby
Yeah,
boom. So like there was a lot of people that went through that, and I feel bad for them. But I do count myself as one of the lucky ones. But it was still hard.
yeah, that's hard.
She was out of work and homebound for 2 straight years because we had our children pretty much had both of our kids back to back. Our son was planned, our daughter was not.
Got
Uh,
it.
so she pretty essentially was pregnant for 2 years.
Yeah,
And so I know she had a lot of cabin fever. She couldn't go anywhere, couldn't do anything. Like it was rough for her.
No,
Um,
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, 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 it's okay. All I was gonna say was that, I know. And then, not even counting the loss that people had during COVID, I myself included, I have lost family members due to the virus. And it's tough, but I mean, at the end of the day, on the bright side of it, I got two healthy kids out of it, and I wouldn't trade that for the world.
For nothing. Exactly. Oh
Yeah.
my, that's really tough because it's like, I've had kids myself, and just to be in the hospital, your husband can't come in the room with you.
Yeah.
That's hard because you want that support, you want that. And I can imagine how your wife felt and how you felt. That's really hard.
Yeah, no, like I said, we got lucky that they let me stay for my son. And then when it came to my daughter, there was no, was not an answer for her. She was like, she told them flat out, like, either you let him in, be here, or
Yeah.
I'm going to tear this hospital to pieces. Yeah, she did not,
You
she
can
was
curse if
not
you want
fooling
to.
around. What's
You
She
can,
was
that?
cur- you can
saying,
curse. It's uncensored.
That's what I'm saying. She did not play games. She was like, I will tear this hospital apart if you do not let him in. So,
she
yeah.
was
So,
saying, yeah, I blame.
she's a firecracker, that one. Yeah, she's a firecracker.
No, I
Yeah.
understand. And my dad had a procedure, and I couldn't be. None of us could have been there with him. He went in. He was there for a couple days by himself. I was depressed because I wanted to be with him, but they didn't want anyone in, and it was really shitty, and it's very dramatic.
No,
Wow.
it definitely messed with a lot of people in a lot of bad ways.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
like a lot
absolutely.
of bad ways.
So the next, oh, go ahead, Virginia.
Oh no, I was just gonna say the good part is a lot of people they learn so much about social media.
Oh yeah.
They got on social so
Yeah.
much.
So the
So
next,
yeah.
absolutely, I didn't mean to interrupt. I do apologize.
Oh no, it's okay.
But we have 5 minutes left. I just want to make sure everyone has their piece. The next one is here in the Key Fans Network, we support people with disabilities. And to be honest, I'm going to be completely honest. I'm very sensitive to certain things. If someone has like a deformity outside of the face, missing arms and legs, not saying I'm an asshole or anything. I'm not. It's just I walk around with my emotions on my sleeve,
It's a trigger.
and I'm sorry.
It's a trigger, yeah.
And
Yes.
I do support people with disabilities. Absolutely, 100%. I swear to God on that. I support people with disabilities.
Mhm.
But it bothers me to be. Does that make any sense? It's like it just bothers you. I know it sounds like, well, you can't really say you support people with disabilities, but then you say you're kind of, you know, flaking, you're sensitive around it. Does that make any sense to you, Charles?
It does. Um, there's certain things that, when like I told you, I have two children who are, my oldest daughter and my son, they're both on the spectrum.
Mhm.
I myself struggled as a child with, attention deficit disorder,
Mhm.
and I mean, you ask my mother, the pains that she went through to make sure I graduated was real. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I mean, I graduated by the skin of my teeth.
Me too.
So it's hard. And I personally don't get so much triggered when I see other people, but I see a lot of it in my kids. And I won't so much as say it's a trigger, but I actually get more aggressive about it because I don't want them to struggle the way I did.
Mhm.
And so I get a little bit tough on them, not always in a good way, but I do get a little tough on them.
Right.
As far as like when I see it out in public, seeing other people with disabilities and that nature, I don't shy away from it. I don't know how to handle it. Like I won't
Right.
know how to talk to them, how to communicate. I kind of just, oh, okay, that's nice, be very, nonchalant, very just matter of point.
Mhm.
But one thing I do get is I do get extremely defensive when I see people
Mm.
belittling or shaming it, because at the end of the day, it's not their fault.
Yeah, I know,
Funny,
absolutely.
funny fact here is in Eminem's song, he busts on a lot of people with disabilities and things of that nature, but he actually makes a very valid point in
Mhm.
his song, in one of his songs. It was forget the name of the track off the top of my head, but it was off the new album, The Death of Slim Shady. And he says, here's a fun, fact about, and his quote, a fun fact about retarded people is they don't know they're effing retarded. They don't know. So it's
Mm.
not so much them themselves that are getting offended, more or less the people that are surrounding them. And unless you're someone who is working with people with disabilities or know somebody closely and personally with a disability, I
Mhm.
personally don't feel they're justified in getting defensive over it.
Right. No,
That's,
that's so true.
yeah. I think for someone else to get defensive over, hearing someone shaming disabilities and not personally having any type of history or close contact, for me is more or less they're looking for their own self-attention.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that's not right. That's just as bad as shaming, in my opinion.
Well,
Yeah.
I do have a couple questions for you guys off the air, but wrapping up, Charles, I want you to be brutally honest. When I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what made you say yes? How do you feel now, and would you recommend it to other people?
Well, when you first mentioned it in, I believe it was Fawn's Live, at first I was kind of like, wait, what? Like, I don't know this person at all. And
Yeah.
again, falling back into like my reserved social awkwardness, I was just like, but someone else that it was in the live who I know they said to me like, no, it's legit. Go ahead, do it. Definitely do it. So I was, because I had a friend tell me that, no, definitely go ahead, do it. I was like, okay. Um, not, well, I still won't lie to you. I was still a little skeptical about it at first, but now that I've sat here and talked with you and done this, I see no harm, no foul in it. And I think this is, a good platform to get your opinions across and your voices heard and whatnot. So
Absolutely.
that's good. I thoroughly enjoyed this.
Yeah, absolutely. And Virginia, you've been on the show multiple times. How do you feel? Same exact question.
Yeah, I have been on this show so many times, a few times, and I really, really enjoy being on your platform because it shows that people who have, who has a disability can do anything. You can look at you. You created your own show and you did thousands of shows. And I am so proud of you, Keith. Like, I am really, really proud of you. And I hope you do many more. I hope it go higher than this. That's the thing. Like, when people see people with disability, they think that they're stuck right there, and you're not. You can do anything that you want to do. You can be an actress. You can be, there's someone with a disability. I think he has Down syndrome. He asked me to collab with him on some music. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want me to collab with you? Okay, I will. And it doesn't matter, how he sound. I want him to feel good that he can do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm coming from a teacher who worked with children with disabilities, and a lot of people don't understand how smart they are.
Mhm.
Oh,
Oh
children
yeah.
with disabilities are so smart. You can
I
tease, you can do anything you want. Hmm.
My daughter, she is wicked smart. I give her math questions, she gets them like that.
Exactly.
It's amazing how
Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
fast her little mind is moving.
And
Amazing.
they move quickly.
Mhm. Exactly.
We can
So,
definitely continue this conversation, but I do have a couple questions for you guys. But Zoom gives us 40 minutes, and after 40 minutes, it kicks us off. But we will do a sit down in a couple minutes. But wrapping up our interview, it will be aired on all social medias. Our goal is to reach 500 and more views. And until we meet again, one thing I do want to say, both of you are invited to be a part of the Halloween party, October. Well, actually, I can plug it on the show. It'll be in the description. But I would love to have both of you a part of it. We will do a Halloween theme party. Your kids are welcome to be a part of it. And we're also going to do a Christmas theme as well. Both those dates will be on the bottom of the screen. While wrapping up, it was a real honor and privilege having you both on the show. And I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road. So until we meet again, I'll catch you later. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
It was nice meeting both of you.
My message is all that matters.